It's the pre-show.
There you go.
Pre-show with the new guy. Sup, new guy.
That's how I get down.
Oh, on the pre-show?
Yes.
Get down on the pre-show.
Well, the post-game show, I might flash a little nip. So anyway.
I think nip is allowed on Google Plus. We can't just can't do anything else.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on my pecs. I feel like I should show them all.
No peen. Not even a glimpse of sack.
Just the tip, just for a second, just to see how it looks.
Saw Brutus the Barber Beefcake's dick once. That was weird.
Isn't that Beefcase?
Brutus the Briefcase Beefcase? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, if you're ready.
I am definitely ready.
And I'm ready. Then we shall begin.
All right.
So I was just going to say 3, 2, 1, record. You hit record. It's easy as that.
Okay.
So this is episode 233. And 3, 2, 1, record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by Bret Hart's Prostate. Oh, fuck you, Bret Hart's Prostate. After Stephanie McMahon mentioned him on the opening segment of Raw this week, Marty Jannetty took to Twitter to pretend to be offended by the mention, insinuating that Triple H and Stephanie's children aren't biologically related to Triple H. Bitter much?
Wow. That's an interesting. I guess anything to stay relevant if you're Marty Jannetty. I think when your finest work was getting your face shoved through a glass window, then you got to do what you got to do to stay in the news.
What voice is that, people? We'll find out after the theme song. New faces. New faces. If Andy were here, he'd be singing the theme song by himself, but he's not. More untouchable than The Rock. It's episode 233 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host. It is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2016. Joining me this week, making his grand debut on The Rundown, Jason is here.
What is going on?
Not much. Welcome to the show. As the new face, we have a few questions that we always ask the new people. First,
they are real and they are spectacular. Yes.
Yes. How long have you been watching wrestling? How did you get into wrestling? And what is your favorite match of all time?
Oh, geez. A little prep, a little notice of these questions would have been nice. I've been watching wrestling pretty much my whole life. I think my first real pay-per-view was probably WrestleMania 4, of course, with the big World Championship tournament. How did I get into wrestling? That's a tough. I had some friends that were into it, I think, and I eventually just they were watching it, so I started watching it, and that was pretty much the end of it. And then, got involved in the business, and I saw the part that's not necessarily so much fun on TV. But I think you learn to adjust and live it and love it, and that's that. As for my favorite match, God, so many come to mind. I'm unabashed and unapologetic Shawn Michaels mark. Always my favorite. First time I ever rooted for a heel, ironically enough, was when he threw Jannetty through the plate glass window. So probably anything with him, but if I had to pick just one, I might say the Iron Man match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
Nice choice. Very nice. Yeah. It's a good, I always like the folks who've been watching forever because they always have, and you are one of them, have very strong opinions.
Yes.
And they don't always match up, and we'll have some fun discussions, hopefully.
Oh yeah, we're not going to agree on anything.
I know we've discussed this many times in locker rooms about how wrong I am on every episode, and I keep asking you to come on, and you're finally here.
I am here. And now that I know how to do this, I can be here more often.
Okay. Let's start. I actually don't have my speaker, so we're going to do it straight from the phone. We're going to start with Sal's voicemail.
Oh boy, I've been dying to get involved in one of these.
It's this one. Oh, tap to download. God damn it. I should have come prepared. All right. Volume is all the way up, and here we go.
The twists and turns on the road to WrestleMania. We go over valleys and hills and peaks and valleys and bumpy roads, all just to get to the granddaddy of them all. And we all want a good WrestleMania. We all want a very high-class, entertaining, off-the-chart WrestleMania. Whether your name is Vince McMahon or Jeremiah Roberts, it doesn't matter. That's all we're looking for is a good WrestleMania. Now, they took some interesting twists and turns last night. Sasha is slowly making that face turn. You know, she came out and said she wanted to be on her own. And then Team Bad came out and was like, hey, I don't know, do your thing. Be on your own. We got you. And then as soon as they started interfering in her match, Sasha was like, hey, you know, I told you I got this. And then they beat her down. Smart booking. She don't need Team Bad. And there's no knock on Naomi and Tamina. She just don't need Team Bad. Sasha Banks is a star. And you know, the universe knows that. To turn her face at this point, I'm fine with it because she should be the ultimate challenger for Charlotte going into WrestleMania. Regardless of what they do at Fastlane, which, by the way, having Brie Bella pin Charlotte not 10 minutes after you show the Nikki Bella surgery package is lazy booking. It's lazy booking, and it's trying to grab sympathy for a character that really doesn't deserve it. The fuck has Brie Bella done in the past year? Seriously, she was Nikki's lapdog for the entire 2015 and did nothing. And now she's just a lapdog. She's just a dog who tries to emulate Daniel Bryan in the ring, and it's horrible at doing so. But please don't give Brie Bella a title shot on anything but SmackDown. Brie Bella doesn't deserve a title shot. And if you're not going to show me Cesaro's road to recovery, if you're not going to show me John Cena's road to recovery, if you're not going to show me Seth Rollins' road to recovery, then I'll be damned if you're going to show me Nikki Bella's road to recovery. How the fuck do I care if that bitch ever wrestles again? Okay, Cesaro, Orton, Seth, I know they're coming back. Okay? Please don't tell me you're going to document every step of Nikki's recovery because that bitch will be more annoying from the fucking hospital room than she was in the ring. Now, on to the beast, Brock Lesnar. I liked his backstage segment with Triple H, but I liked Dean Ambrose opening segment with Brock Lesnar. Dean Ambrose gaining a lot of steam, whether people believe it to be true or not. Let me tell you something. Dean Ambrose going into WrestleMania as the #1 contender by Triple H would be money across the board. And I'm not saying they have to succumb to the fans. This isn't Daniel Bryan with 2 years ago. It doesn't even have the same momentum. I'm just saying it would be fresh and it would be a nice twist if it was Dean Ambrose to capture the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Not to mention, I mean, they've kind of been building to this in a roundabout sort of way. He was, you know, he won the belt from Seth, but then the referee, said that Seth was actually disqualified, so the no title changed hands. He came down with the title in his hands in the ladder match with Seth. Seth just happened to fall and hold on to it. You know, there's been a lot of teasers about Dean Ambrose getting this belt, and why not culminate it at WrestleMania? That's a great story. That's a great story. So we shall see what happens. Still no mention of the dead man. We may not get mention of it till after Fastlane. But let's go for a ride on the road to WrestleMania.
Okay, so we started with the breakup of Team Bad, which
during Black History Month. I'm just like,
yeah. Well, when Sasha came out and cut her little promo, and then Tamina and Naomi came out and were like, "We're just here, you know. We respect you. You were going to go our separate ways. That's great." I tweeted, "That's not how a heel faction breaks up." And then, 5 minutes later, they cost her the match and started beating the crap out of her. I'm like, that's how a heel faction breaks up.
well, and of course, if anybody who follows, the internet was aware, they actually filmed a breakup segment on SmackDown the week before and just chose not to air it. So, you kind of had to know if you were familiar with that breakup was coming on Monday, so that kind of took some of the steam out of it. One of the things Sal said there, and I don't often find myself agreeing with Sal as I've listened to the podcast through the years or through the months I've been listening to it. But one thing I'm absolutely on board with is why the fuck is Brie Bella getting a title shot here? I'm sorry, the sympathy thing, whatever. The last few weeks, they've finally been using the girls right. They've been putting the right girls in the right spots. Charlotte's the heel that she should be. You know, Becky's the scrappy little underdog, and you got Sasha now starting to work her way into that picture. And we're going to take all of that off the rails to put Brie fucking Bella in the title picture at Fastlane.
It's like they realized that they had completely booked Becky out of the title picture and went, oh, shit, we still have one more month before WrestleMania.
Well, then you do the triple threat now, and then you build to Sasha and Charlotte one-on-one at WrestleMania. It seems like an easy formula to me.
You would think. But luckily, I mean, yes, it's retarded that she's getting a title shot, but luckily, everything I'm reading says that it's just for Fastlane. It's not going to last any longer than Fastlane. But yeah, why they couldn't do something else that would actually build towards Sasha versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, match-wise at least, and not some sort of interference in the finish, is baffling to me. Your sister had surgery. They'll cheer for you.
Right, and the only scenario I could see that even makes remote sense is at Fastlane, and in order to pull that off, you have to have 2 women's matches on Fastlane, so I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
You do that title match, and then you do Sasha and Becky, the #1 contenders match for the WrestleMania shot.
Right.
That would make some sense, but I can't envision them doing it.
Name the last time there was more than one women's match on a WWE pay-per-view.
Pay-per-views now. Well, do you count the pre-show? Because I think there was one recently where they had 30 seconds on the pre-show.
Yeah. But yes, in full agreement with Sal, as we always are on this show. Fuck Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
If she stays, if she's has to retire, that will be. I'm perfectly okay with that. I will shed 0 tears.
I don't hate Nikki Bella as much as you guys do. Almost all people within her circle there, as we know. That's another one for another time, though. But anytime you see somebody, and people will shit on Nikki Bella for sure, and some of it is absolutely deserved. At the same time, the girl's not a ring veteran. She didn't come up in the business. She's like a Charlotte or Becky even has more years, and Nikki's put in some work and she's gotten better. She got a push she probably didn't deserve, but that's not really her fault. I want to see her. I want to see her career end. She's gotten better. Yeah. She's still not good. But she's gotten better. Trish took a long time to get real good, too, and people forget that.
But Nikki Bella is no Trish Stratus.
No, but Mandy Rose could be. I'm just saying.
Oh, God. Ugh, I refuse to watch that garbage.
My wife loves it, so...
What was the next? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Dean Ambrose. Okay. Now, was it you that posted that we need to stop saying that Dean Ambrose is Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yes. Oh my God.
Because he's Brian Pillman.
Yes, he's absolutely that's the formula for Dean Ambrose is the loose cannon Brian Pillman. He's not Stone Cold. He's not really anti-authority. That was what Stone Cold got. He's just insane. He's Pillman, and he's doing it perfectly.
Sure. Somebody posted something on Facebook. I can't remember if I saw it today or yesterday. That was a meme from Raw. It was like, Suplex City? ? I'll be there. Something, and then it had pictures at the bottom of him and CZW taking a sawzall to the forehead.
Oh.
Like, oh boy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let's not go down the CZW road. But in terms of what Sal was talking about, I think there's been a lot of people I've seen in the last couple of days, particularly talking about that it looked like they were maybe moving towards the Lesnar-Ambrose situation for WrestleMania. I think in retrospect, now knowing what we know, that Bray was taken out of the building because of his grandfather being very sick.
Yeah, Bray and Bo neither of them were at Raw or SmackDown.
Right. I think they probably had something planned for Brock and Bray, and then when Bray left, Ambrose kind of slid into there. I don't know that this is actually building to anything at WrestleMania with Ambrose or Lesnar.
I don't think so. I read something that the advertisements for the MSG house show that's going to be aired on the network talks about Brock Lesnar hunting down the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
So I think we're still in firm Brock versus Bray mode for Mania. And I believe that the advertised match at that house show is actually Brock versus Luke Harper. So
probably the best worker in the group, actually, ironically enough. As long as we don't get, and I think Sal touched on this too, as long as we don't get the fucking Undertaker and the Brown Snowman. No, you cannot do that. I would rather sit and watch Luke Harper versus the Undertaker at WrestleMania than Strowman. I mean, that guy is brutal.
I believe he's more of a green snowman, but
but it looks like, sadly enough, this feud that Strowman and the Big Show look to be going into is probably leading up to getting legitimate status to face the Undertaker. So.
I will admit that segment on Raw with the Big Show, he beat Eric Rowan, but then got beaten up by the entire Wyatt family. I did like that segment.
Yeah, and he turned heel and face 3 times. Which is good.
And I think that helped put over the Wyatt family in terms of that. And that slam on the steps just looked pretty brutal to me.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing visual. They did a great job on that one. So.
Yeah, I remember just after Survivor Series, after TLC, Raccoon Reigns talking about the whole Braun and Bubba thing with the trash can, and then on it must have been on SmackDown because we recorded after Raw. It must have been on SmackDown. They were showing replays, and they showed the entire segment, including the entire awkward interaction of him of Braun holding it, or no, Bubba was holding it just right in front of his face. And then Braun going, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to punch it," so bad.
Yeah, it's just, and the Undertaker can carry some, and this has been lost through the years. Is that the Undertaker's had some bad WrestleMania matches. I mean,
two words, my friend, Giant Gonzalez.
Absolutely, but even if you go, really, the legacy of the Undertaker at WrestleMania kind of started with that double shot with Shawn Michaels those back-to-back years, and then you went to the Triple H, but prior to that, it was a lot of very. I love Jake the Snake, but Jake the Snake at the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I mean,
the casket match against Mark Henry.
Yeah, Sid. You can maybe get points for the Edge match, I guess, but I mean, the iconic Undertaker at WrestleMania match, I don't think really started until that Shawn Michaels situation. Yeah. So, we might be going back to the Giant Gonzalez days this year, unless Cena magically heals faster than anyone anticipated. As for the road to recovery and the Nikki Bella thing he was talking about, I don't want to see Seth Rollins' road to recovery. I don't want to see Seth Rollins at all. Yeah. I think the longer he's away, he comes back and becomes a huge face when he comes back.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that.
And keeping him off TV that time just builds that anticipation, and that's going to be that kind of pop that's going to rival that Triple H Madison Square Garden return pop.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when he comes back, it's going to be fucking bonkers.
Absolutely. And his moveset really is better for a face anyway. He should come back and be a face, and hopefully, hopefully Reigns will be a heel by then and can feud for the championship Seth never lost.
Now, Sal talks about the possibility of Dean Ambrose becoming the number one contender at the end of Fastlane. I think we talked about last week. Is that kind of an insurance policy, having it be a triple threat match for if the WWE decides that the Roman Reigns thing isn't going the way that they want it to, they flip that switch and go, okay, let's go Ambrose. I know. What are your thoughts on that?
It would free you up to do one interesting thing, which would be perhaps move into maybe Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, which I think is significantly more marketable.
Sure.
I don't see it happening. And one of the main reasons why is if you go back and look at the end of the Royal Rumble, just that visual of Triple H and Dean Ambrose didn't look competitive. I mean, I love Ambrose, but next to Triple H, he kind of looked like a minor league guy. And I don't say that by any means disrespectful, just his look. He's smaller, the jeans and the T-shirt. I just don't know that that's what they want the main event of WrestleMania to look like.
Yeah,
visually. So I have a hard time seeing that happening. Not to mention, he's got to be at the center of something with the Intercontinental title. You would think they'd want him to have a big match at Mania for the Intercontinental title. So I have a hard time seeing him being involved in the main event at Mania. I just don't.
Sure.
Plus, you got to figure they got to put big posters all over the town in San Francisco. Where are they? WrestleMania? Dallas. They got to put the big posters on Dallas, and I don't know that Dean Ambrose sells tickets with a big poster next to Triple H. I still think, honestly, they're probably best off, and as much as I'd hate to see it again with Brock versus Triple H, that's really kind of, of all their options, the money match, but it's not going to happen. They've already done that at Mania, twice now?
Nope. Triple H has to get his comeuppance. Roman has to get his day in the sun.
Yeah. The problem is, and they've done, Triple H has done the job that no one else was able to do and made Roman a somewhat sympathetic figure. And for as much as they maybe booed a little bit at the Royal Rumble, and I think that had a lot more to do with horrible fucking booking. God, they just killed any momentum Roman had going into that event. They just killed.
Yeah, we touched on that last week.
You don't take the face out for 20 minutes. Like, let him sit there. Let him sit on the table and just kind of slowly fight his way back in. That makes so much more sense for a face. Instead, he basically pulled the Miz and sat out back and did commentary while they fucking wrestled. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything really significant changing for the matches we kind of already see coming for Mania at this point. I'd love to, because like I said, if we could get Strowman out of there, I'd be thrilled. But I don't know.
So who does Dean Ambrose take on for the Intercontinental Championship?
That's interesting.
Where do we see that going? I mean, we're kind of it seems like maybe we're pointing towards Owens and Sami Zayn if they bring Sami Zayn up before WrestleMania. I mean, the rumors are that they're working on bringing, I think it was Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe up. But the question is when, I think.
That NXT takeover in Dallas the night before Mania is going to be real interesting, because I have this feeling that whichever one between Finn Balor or Samoa Joe loses that title match is probably coming up. That's so if you're going to bring Finn up, you have him drop that title that night, obviously, to Joe, and Joe kind of becomes that guy in NXT, and vice versa. If Joe loses, he's lost twice to Finn, there's no reason for him to stay in NXT. He's probably coming up.
Yeah, I think the rumors are kind of pointing to Samoa Joe not coming up until after WrestleMania, obviously, because he has the title match against Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver.
Spoilers.
Sorry. But word is that they're kind of seeing Finn as kind of the NXT franchise guy right now, and so they're planning on keeping the title on him for a while, so he won't be called up very soon. But bringing Joe up after WrestleMania, Zayn could come up at any point. I mean, and have that feud with Owens. He does have the match against Nakamura that's announced in the next couple weeks that they spoiled on their own Twitter account.
Yes, but they tend to know that for some reason. I don't know. Of course, they did it with Kalisto's U title loss. So
Genius.
Tune into SmackDown to find out what happened. Oh, we already. Sorry.
Tune into SmackDown to watch this guy lose.
Yeah. Well. People will tune in for title changes. If the Mick Foley Triple H thing taught us anything, it's that, I guess.
True.
But yeah, NXT is obviously the best show they have going right now, so I wouldn't be sure to decide they want to leave Finn down. It makes a lot of sense in that regard. However, if you're looking at the rumors are that they want to bring Gallows and Anderson up to the main roster right away, and then you want to. I kind of imagine they want him with Balor, so maybe this is kind of like a smokescreen so that they don't get the Balor surprise when it happens.
Yeah. Have you seen the Photoshop jobs that Finn Balor's been posting of him with Triple H?
Oh. Finn Balor's a great follower. He's no Kevin Owens, but he's a great follower. I think Kevin Owens just blocked me for saying that. But damn. Yeah, I mean, straight off, of course, the iconic image of Finn Balor doing the suck it sign outside of the TNA office.
Yep.
Won at that point. So, but did you see today they had the Matt Hardy versus Big E Twitter beef?
No, I didn't see that. I missed that. How did I miss that completely?
It was not a Twitter beef at all. And basically, Matt Hardy said something about, somebody said, I want to see you and Jeff go back to WWE and fight the New Day. And Matt Hardy said something to the extent of, are those the guys that wear the strap-ons on their heads? And Big E said something.
So he stole the Rock's joke, is what
pretty much, yeah. Well, Matt Hardy hasn't done anything original his entire career. Why start now? And then Big E, there's the lamest Twitter beef ever. Big E says, "I'm not getting involved in beef on Twitter." And then Matt's like, "Oh no, you guys are great." because Big E would crush him in his boobs if he actually ran into him. But yeah, it was fairly lame.
Speaking of large black people destroying people named Hardy, did you hear about Awesome Kong?
Oh my God, yes. Actually had quite the debate with a friend of mine about that as it was. Yeah.
Awesome Kong got sent home from the TNA UK tour for basically trying to strangle Rebby Sky
in front of her child.
over some presumed social media feud that they have been having over the past, and Rebby Sky's refusal to apologize or some shit. But the reports are that she actually left marks on her neck.
Yeah. And in reality, what she should have done is punched her in the face, because it would have helpfully improved the situation going on there. But yeah, and actually Kong has a history of this. Some of you might remember the Bubba's a Love Sponge incident. So she has a history of kind of flying off the handle.
And we thanked her for that, because Bubba the Love Sponge belonged nowhere near a wrestling promotion.
Fair enough. But he's got friends, brother. But yeah. The Kong thing, I mean, look, I've seen both sides of the argument. People say Rebby Sky doesn't like her and probably baited her into the fight to get her in trouble and blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, you got to be accountable for yourself. You got to be professional in the locker room, and that's obviously not what Kong did for whatever reason.
They say she basically took Rebby's stuff and threw it out of the locker room, and then when Rebby brought it back in, she attacked her.
Right,
and not tried to choke her out.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that perhaps, just maybe, choking out the wife of the world champion of your promotion, probably not the best career move. Just going to say. Unless she wants to get kicked out of TNA, in which case who could blame her?
I thought EC3 was the world champion.
No.
That's right. Matt Hardy won because it was a I win the title or I retire match.
Yes,
and
Matt Hardy.
And sadly, he won the title.
And turned heel.
Yeah. Yay. Because
that'll...
TNA. All right. Okay, I think we have another voicemail.
Ooh.
Now, this one, I actually don't know who this is from. I don't recognize this number at all. So let's see what this is about.
Hi, Rundown. This is Marty. I listened to a couple episodes of your show. Last time I was paying real close attention because you guys were talking about that Sunny girl doing the porno, so I was really into that conversation. And so I was listening to the show, and at the end, I've been having a little bit of a personal problem of, a little trouble taking care of business. At the end of the show, I listened to you guys were talking about it, so I went out and I got me some of that asshole poetry that you were talking about at the end. Oh my God, it was great. I got through the first stanza, I shit my pants. I couldn't help it. It was awesome. It just solved all my problems. I just want to give you a big thank you for that one. Taking care of it. That was great. I thank you guys. Have a good show. And more wrestling girls in porno talk will really be something I'd be interested in. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
I think he said his name was Marty. Or was it Morty?
Sounded right.
One of those two.
I couldn't tell. Sounded like a Morty.
Thank you, Morty. Or Marty. Maybe it was Marty.
You.
Maybe it was Marty Jannetty. Who knows? Wants us to talk more about wrestlers doing pornos. Well, after the announcement last week that the whole selling, Sunny's claim that the whole selling her Hall of Fame ring thing was just a publicity stunt for this porno that she did with the video. This week, she made a statement, if it was on Twitter or where it was, that she wanted to do a porno with China.
Yay, said nobody. Yes, and Adam, I have to admit, I've seen the trailer. I didn't seek it out. It found me.
It found you.
Yes. I was surfing the internet and, something hit a pop-up ad and, something happened. I don't know what to tell you.
You were searching Sunny Side Up because it was breakfast time.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. But
you saw the picture, you saw the freeze frame of Tammy Sitch, and you went, I didn't know Sunny owned a breakfast restaurant. And you clicked on it, and oh God!
Yeah, but apparently the front doors were broken because you can only go in the back door.
Yep.
But yeah. So I don't know that I'm ever going to be the same, but I'd encourage everyone to not view that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite 2 girls, 1 cup, but you know, it's.
Yeah. So Co-Ghost Sean is still considering the idea of doing another review, like he did for Backdoor into China way back in episode 47, sub-episode Alpha, which I believe was our first Christmas special.
Well, nothing says the holidays.
But the idea of the idea of Sunny and China, and then then they were having some sort of discussion as to should it just be them, or should they bring in a dude and have a 3-way? Just
Sonny was like, I wouldn't fuck you with China's dick.
So there you go, Marty Jannetty. Hope that helps. And if it doesn't, you've always got the poetry for your asshole.
Absolutely. He was flowing like Bo Rida.
They did a poll on WWE.com as to who rapped better, Bo Rida or Flo Rida, and Bo Rida won.
And I am a big Flo Rida fan. I'm not going to lie. I actually enjoy his music quite a bit. And I don't know. Somehow WWE Creative found a way to even fuck him up. I don't know. That is horrible.
Hashtag social outcast.
There you go. Well, they're getting something going.
Speaking of social outcasts, the radical mongoose, Adam Rose.
It's like the guy sits out back and goes, I'm not fucking stupid enough yet. What can I do? How can I make myself even less of a factor in the business? I don't know. Yeah, the radical monarch, please. No. I'd rather you call yourself a fucking bunny and move on.
That's a storyline that we never found out who the bunny was.
It was Sammy's name.
I feel like we were supposed to find out who the bunny was, and then that was going to be a feud, and then they just killed that outright.
Yeah, it was Sami Zayn in the suit. I know that.
Yes, but who was going to be revealed as the bunny?
Fucking
was it going to be Zack? Was it going to be Zack Ryder?
No, he's too busy being hype.
Sonny. Fuckle me, Elmo. Anyway. Yeah, so troubling news this week as Bret Hart took to social media to announce that he is battling prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Which is the shits. But as I told him on Twitter and on Instagram, hey, you're the fucking hitman. If I can be cancer, you can be cancer. So
yeah, obviously, all joking aside, best wishes to Bret Hart. He's already decided that his cancer is the worst cancer ever, like the worst Royal Rumble and the worst WrestleMania, because Bret doesn't like anything. So no, but also
was that an old meme? Bret Hart gives it a 4.
Oh my God, yeah. But in all seriousness, obviously, we hope for a quick and speedy recovery as much as possible for the Hitman, and the pink of breast cancer awareness might be replaced with the pink for prostate for Bret Hart.
The pink and black of prostate cancer awareness.
Exactly. There you go.
So yes, best wishes to Bret Hart and all the Hart family. You got this, man. You're the fucking hitman.
And that's coming on the heels of Smith Hart too. He's got some serious medical problems going on too that he announced right before that. So that family, I'm not saying they're in the league of the Von Erichs.
Always trying to ride his brother's coattails.
Oh, wow. So that happened.
Yeah. That's what we do on this show. We take a serious thing and then we shit all over it.
There you go. Speaking of which, that Sunny movie. I think that's actually where someone takes a shit all over.
That's why it's the back door.
Well, yeah. I don't think it's supposed to be on her though. But I've seen movies. Never mind. Forget it. We don't want to go down that alley.
Sonny's
way, if you will.
Sonny's trip to Cleveland.
Ooh, nobody wants to go to Cleveland. Literally and figuratively.
I hear it's steamy there.
I've heard that too. But LeBron James went back, so what does that tell you?
I don't follow.
That's a sports reference, Adam.
I don't follow basketball.
I know. Who do you got in the Super Bowl?
The blue and oranges. I don't know.
There you go. Close enough. We'll give you credit.
The teal and it's the teal and blacks versus the blue and oranges, isn't it?
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah. The Patriots are in it. That's all I know.
There you go. Well, yeah. That's another podcast.
Yes, it's definitely not this podcast. I don't follow the hand egg. I don't follow the hoop ball. I watch wrestling, baseball, and hockey. And I don't even get to watch baseball and hockey that much because I don't have cable. So
jeez.
That's why this is a wrestling podcast, because that's what I watch.
Well, there you go. I got some solutions for you on that. We'll talk later.
They say talk about what you know, and this is what I know.
There you go. So what else do we know about wrestling then?
There's reports this week that Daniel Bryan is actually WWE is looking for positions for Daniel Bryan to return outside the ring because they don't feel that he will actually clear any kind of medical exam. Saying that Bryan has been cleared by other concussion specialists, but not by the WWE concussion specialists, and probably will not be cleared to return to the ring ever. I know Andy's happy about that, but what do we see Daniel Bryan doing in a non-wrestling capacity in the WWE?
Brie Bella?
He's Brie Bella's manager.
No, just doing her. I don't know that we're ever actually going to see Daniel Bryan.
She's going to steal his moveset, but don't you dare say she's riding his coattails.
No, and she's going to, as a heel, use his moveset to get the crowd to chant for her. But, yeah, no, I don't know that we're ever going to see him do anything outside of wrestling. I think he's made it pretty clear he wants to get back in the ring in some way, shape, or form. I can understand the WWE and Vince not wanting to put him back in the ring. You know, they don't want another Chris Benoit situation on their hands, obviously. But at the same time, there are a whole lot of promoters around the country who wouldn't give a shit about the status of Daniel Bryan's head, and will bring him in because he'll draw money.
If he were to murder his wife and his sister-in-law.
Oh Jesus!
No, that's just in my head.
But yeah, no, there are roles I think he could do, but I don't think he's mentally in a place to do those yet. I think if anything, he'd petition for his release and go do some Ring of Honor or New Japan stuff. I hear New Japan's got a couple open slots actually.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go to our Twitter, I retweeted.
Can I just touch on one thing? Speaking of the New Japan thing. Am I the only one that's a little surprised that Nakamura is starting in NXT? And don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see him in Zayn, but I kind of figured for the money they're talking about that they shelled out for Nakamura, I'm a little surprised he's not coming up to the main roster.
I'm not, because he's not as big of a name in America. I mean, there's people that know him obviously, but I mean, AJ Styles is AJ fucking Styles, you know. So he's basically designed to skip NXT and go straight to the main roster, but Nakamura is again more of a Japanese sensation, not, at least as far as WWE is concerned, not that well known on this side of the Pacific. Yeah, I found it interesting that you're going to shell out that kind of money and put the guy on the brand that's notoriously losing money despite being the best program they have. A little surprising. Yeah, but they are trying to become more of a touring brand. I know they're selling out shows around the country because Triple H keeps posting about it on Twitter about we sold out Cleveland and we sold out Columbus, and so I mean, as they're trying to build the roster for that to actually draw these houses and sell out these houses, and so I mean, as they become more of a touring company and sell out bigger arenas than the Full Sail television studio.
Yes,
I think.
And fuck you, Triple H. When are we going to get NXT Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, right. Worcester. Bring them to Worcester.
Hey, that's my backyard here.
State charges $1.25, Paul.
Worst fake Worcester accent. You, Adam Sandler. But yeah, I just that is a little weird. But don't get me wrong, I think him and Zayn. Well, there's no roof on. I don't know. Is there a roof on that building in Dallas? I have no idea. But what if there is? They're going to blow it off there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's no roof at WrestleMania, but there will be for that because that's not going to be. They're not going to do NXT Takeover in the AT&T Stadium.
I'd probably still outdraw WrestleMania with the 2 card segments.
We had to add extra seats from the WrestleMania layout to the NXT show because we sold out too fast.
Yeah, well, The Rock will be in Roman Reigns' corner, so that'll make people want to go.
Yeah. Somebody was talking to me the other day about. I think I saw somebody just running off at the mouth about WrestleMania, saying, "Oh, they keep doing this, and they're not going to sell out WrestleMania." And I'm like, "It's fucking WrestleMania. They're going to sell out WrestleMania. People will buy WrestleMania tickets without knowing anything that's happening on the show."
Yeah.
Because it's WrestleMania. You could book a match for the main event between a hot dog and a grilled cheese sandwich, and people will still buy tickets to WrestleMania to say, "Hey, I went to WrestleMania."
Absolutely, and I think that's actually Vince McMahon's fallback for the main event.
Undertaker versus a grilled cheese sandwich.
Well, versus one of those balls from the tumbler that he tried to open before the Royal Rumble.
He's an old man. He doesn't.
Vince wants his rematch.
He doesn't have good grip strength.
I have never seen a guy with arms that big be unable to open a little tiny plastic ball. I mean, talk about God love him, and Vince McMahon, the godfather of professional wrestling. God, does he look feeble, old, and doddering these days?
Now I'm just picturing. Now I'm just picturing like him at like a grocery store or somewhere with like his granddaughter, and her be like, "Grandpa, can I get a toy from the machine?" "No, Grandpa can't open those damn things."
He is still able to open some things because he's in that Sunny porno, I think.
Wearing the Elmo head?
That was for Marty.
That's for that one's for you, Janetti.
There you go. But yeah, so what was the other? Oh, the other WrestleMania aspect that I wanted to ask you about. Where do you think? I think we can kind of both agree. It looks like we might get that Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania, which would be fucking awesome. Especially if you somehow get the Intercontinental title back on Owens and make it a ladder match. I think
that would be a hell of a double shot for Zayn that weekend, doing more on Saturday and Owens on Sunday.
Well, Owens did the ladder match with Balor and then did Cesaro at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
so
that was crazy.
So it's definitely doable. But if that is the case, then what do you do with AJ Styles at WrestleMania? Because you want to showcase him. I still think we're going to end up with Jericho versus Ambrose for the IC title, personally. They planted those seeds a while ago, and there was a reason for that. But where does that leave AJ? You got to have something epic for AJ in his first WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, if they go Owens versus Sammy at WrestleMania, I mean, at the Rumble they kind of set up seeds for Owens versus Styles. After having AJ in the Rumble for half an hour, and then Owens is the one that threw him out again. Genius booking idea. That's one of the high points of the Rumble.
Well, and that booking idea didn't come from the back. I don't know if you saw that story.
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, apparently they had Dean Ambrose scheduled as the guy to eliminate AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens went, "Are you guys fucking retarded? They're gonna boo Dean Ambrose, one of your biggest faces, out of the fucking building if he throws AJ Styles out. Let me do it. They already hate me." Perfect. That is why Kevin Owens is the absolute fucking man.
He's a smart man. He's
unbelievable. Man.
So there's that. If not that, I mean, you're just talking about Dean Ambrose. Maybe that's the Intercontinental title scene at Mania.
Yeah, I still think the Jericho thing is happening for Ambrose.
Jericho, you still like a Jericho and Ambrose? Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was kind of thinking Jericho Styles as well after what happened on Raw. Jericho has been posting things on Twitter about wanting a rematch, so
that's going to happen Monday.
Towards that too. That's So I don't know. There's a lot of questions going to Mania. I mean, we still got Fastlane and then 4 weeks after that to finalize things. But
it'll be interesting.
There's a lot that they can do. The question is how well will they pull it off, because they kind of have a history of kind of choking in that department a little bit.
Well, and I think the other thing we're all forgetting is that this is WrestleMania, so there'll be 75 multi-person matches, and you got to get everyone on the card. So you
gotta have your Andre the Giant Battle Royal, so the Big Show can win again.
Yeah. Well, Cesaro's got a big push after winning that, right?
Yeah.
He became a Paul Heyman guy for 10 minutes.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. And then till the tag titles, and then Tyson Kidd almost killed himself.
Partially severed spinal cord.
See, he's a listener, folks. He's a listener before he was a host. He's the opposite of Andy, and that Andy still doesn't listen even when he's on the show.
But that's okay, because he doesn't watch the shows either. So
exactly.
You know, he's commenting on something he doesn't watch. It's kind of like a presidential candidate that way.
Oh God, the New Hampshire primaries next week, and I can't fucking wait for it to be over just so I stop getting those fucking mails.
Oh my
I've
God.
gotten so like every day in my goddamn mailbox is another piece of paper that I just have to throw in the goddamn garbage.
Without getting obviously too political, I don't know if you caught the Iowa caucus results that the Democrats are so stupid they can't even, they had to resort to picking a winner by a coin flip. I fucking shit you not, a coin fucking flip.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But we're not
Anyway.
talking politics.
Anyway, that's a different show.
Yes.
We'll leave that for Raccoon Reigns' show. We have a trivia voicemail, or we can go to another topic.
Oh, I've been waiting for the trivia. I win every week in my car.
All right, let's do that then. And then we'll talk about the last topic, and then we'll go.
I will completely suck at this, though.
Do you want? Oh, shit. I don't have a thing to keep score because my iPad's in the other room. All right. That's all right. Do you want evens or odds?
Let's go evens.
You want the evens. Okay, that gives me the odds.
Hey guys, this is Sal, the voice of the voicemail, coming to you live with another quiz for this week's episode of the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. My name is Sal. I'm coming to you here with the quiz for the WWE. And this week's quiz, since he wanted to take up a half an hour on Raw, and I love him, but still it was a half an hour. Let's quiz about The Rock. The great one, the people's champ himself. So, we shall get started with question number 1. At WrestleMania 14, live from the Boston Garden, when it was called the Fleet Center, The Rock retained his Intercontinental Championship when the referee reversed his original decision because Rock's opponent refused to break the submission hold. Who was his opponent this night?
I believe, now I'm even, so it's my question. I believe that was Ken Shamrock.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
And the answer is the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Question number 2. When The Rock was lobbying to be the new leader of the Nation of Domination, he presented D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, and Kama Mustafa with a brand new solid gold $15,000 Rolex. But what gift did he give the leader, Farouk?
That would be a giant picture of himself holding the Intercontinental title.
That is correct.
The answer is why The Rock gave him a portrait of The Rock. Question number 3. During the This Is Your Life segment with Mick Foley on Raw, who were the 3 guests who Mick brought out? We don't need names, just the guests.
Oh, Jesus. It was a football coach, a home economics teacher, and a former girlfriend / fling.
I believe it was his first.
Except she cut The Rock off at second base.
Yes.
So he brought out his old football coach.
Oops. Speakers on this side.
He brought out his ex-girlfriend, and he brought out a clown. If I'm correct, the clown's name was something like Jiggles. Question number.
What about the teacher? That was a home ec teacher, and that's the old lady. Who's the old lady?
Sal missed the football coach. The football coach was out there too, and
he said the football coach first. I just had the speaker on the wrong side of the thing.
Oh, okay.
So the football coach, the ex-girlfriend, and the clown.
Yeah.
There was an old lady though. The old lady was a home ec teacher.
Yeah, you got the home ec teacher too. You got the bonus points.
4. What was The Rock's finishing move when he first debuted in the WWF?
Oh, jeez.
Is this my chance to steal and win?
It might be. God, it was the Raw Survivor Series. And what did he use? God. It wasn't a Samoan drop, was it? Yeah, I guess I'll go Samoan drop. I don't know why that's sticking in my head, but
it was the shoulder breaker.
Oh, right, yes.
The answer is it was a shoulder breaker. Question number 5. True or false, The Rock has held the WCW World Heavyweight Championship?
It's It's painfully easy. It's true.
The answer is true, although it was in the WWE, it was still the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Question number 6, on Raw this week, Xavier Woods accused The Rock of doing it for the paycheck, which The Rock has always been known to like the finer things in life, including a stream of nice-looking clothes back in the late 90s, as well as this car that Stone Cold Steve Austin decided to run over.
Was that a Lamborghini?
I don't think it was. I think it was a Rolls Royce.
Could be. They've destroyed so many cars at this point.
Right. The one that he ran over with the monster truck. I just can't remember which one it was.
What kind of car did Austin run over? Answer is a Lincoln Town Car. Question number 7. What college did The Rock graduate from?
University of Miami.
Man, you're getting all the easy ones.
I'm really getting the easy ones. You're the one who picked evens.
That's
though.
true.
That's your fault.
My fault.
The answer is, I will accept 2 answers. If you said the U, I will give you credit for the U, because everybody who knows.
If you said the V, go fuck
U
yourself.
Stands for the University of Miami. The Miami Hurricanes. Rock was a Miami Hurricane. Question number 8. Name the only wrestling promotion The Rock ever wrestled for that was not the WWE or the WWF.
He would have missed the Ohio Valley time. Was it UWF in California?
I have no idea. I think I was going to say UWF as well. Fuck it. Let's say FCW. I have no clue.
The answer is Rock actually made his pro debut in the USWA under Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett.
I had 2 letters.
Question
Right.
number 9. Mankind shocked the world by winning the WWF Championship from Rock on Monday Night Raw. At what event did Rock win his title back?
Shit. Was it the Royal Rumble?
It was the Royal Rumble. It was that I Quit match.
Yeah, I knew it was the I Quit match. I just couldn't remember which pay-per-view it was.
And the answer is 3 weeks later, he won it back at the Royal Rumble in an I Quit match when he famously, please go back and watch this, handcuffed Mick Foley's hands behind his head and pretty much gave him
behind his back.
live television.
For the same company that won Daniel Bryan.
The Rock teamed up with John Cena at the 2011 Survivor Series to take on the team of who?
Awesome Truth, The Miz, and R-Truth.
What a weird match that was.
Especially since everyone hated Cena and they just booed shit out of him.
Never before. Never again. Please, dear God, never again.
Well, the answer is the Awesome Truth, The Miz, and R-Truth. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the quiz. Have a good week.
Well, next time I know to pick the odds.
Now you were fairly braggadocious going into that.
Yeah.
And you kind of got your ass kicked there.
Oh, look who finds a way to keep fucking score when they win.
It was on the coffee table. I thought I left it in the kitchen. That's a 6-2 for those of you listening at home. 6-2. Just because you're the new guy doesn't mean I'm going to let you win.
All right, well, I'll have to make up for that next time. Next time I will pick the odds because apparently Sal stacks the odds with the easy questions. For the record, too.
All right. Okay, so there's one kind of topic that I read about this week that I kind of want to touch on. We're at 53 minutes, so can't go too deep into it. But there was an article. What's that?
Not like the Sunny movie.
Jesus. There was an article talking about sexism in the WWE and about how because it kind of focused on Lana, but the whole Divas situation, where the whole Lana Rusev Cena feud last year. Cena, the superhero good guy, played his good guy part by accusing Lana of being a whore and accusing her of sleeping around to get Rusev matches and all this fun stuff. And this is kind of the typical MO for these kind of things. Of course, Cena is also the superhero who accused Miz and Alex Riley of being homosexual love partners. But it's kind of an interesting thing to think about, given the fact that the Divas Revolution has now been flushed down the toilet, basically. In that now that Ronda Rousey lost the title, and we don't have to care about that anymore, and we're back to matches booked from Total Divas. But I mean, it's obviously a thing, because just the way that it's presented on television and the way that especially the valets who aren't wrestlers have been presented in the past. But is it as big of a thing as it's being made out to be?
All right, so I guess we're going to put on the serious hat for a second. Yeah, I struggle with this one because I understand kind of the perception that some people have on that kind of topic. At the same time, I am one of the people in the world who's just fuck it and have a sense of humor, man. Don't take everything so seriously. Don't get offended by everything. I mean, I get offended by nothing. So I don't necessarily, I can put myself in a mind space to relate to people that can get upset by something like that. But I think, to me, ultimately what you have to remember is that these are people playing characters on TV. Mm-hmm. Do you get upset with an actor who's portrayed as raping someone on TV? Is he a rapist? No, he's playing a character that's doing this.
Right, and that was Stephanie McMahon's comeback was this is fiction.
Right. I think people tend to lose that. And ironically, wrestling's at its best when you're talking about guys who are kind of being more themselves turned way up. But at the same time, it's still a TV show. It's still, for all the athleticism, it's a soap opera for dudes. I mean, that's kind of what it's always been billed at. So unless you're going to get upset with the actor on your favorite soap opera for what he does and presume that's how he is in real life, I really think it's kind of an unfair thing. It's a script, basically. I mean, yeah. Except when he goes out and talks to the guys dressed up like legends on the outside, then he's off script.
Oh, that's what I was talking about at the beginning. Everybody got so pissed off at that, but he's The Rock, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And what are they going to do? You can't come back. Oh, no, I can't come back. I'm going to go back to making millions in my movies. I think it also falls into the trap of the common conception, or the common perception, rather, of wrestling as dumb hick shit.
And Neanderthal, yeah.
Which it hasn't been for years. I mean, they've been steadily moving away from that, and it is. But that is still, I think, the mass public perception. My dad still gives me shit for watching wrestling, and I've been watching wrestling for about 28 years now, and he still gives me shit. He goes, I don't know how you can watch that stuff. But,
and if you're a wrestler, I think wrestling fans for a long time were a very closeted group, and you didn't tell anybody you watched it. And I think The Rock and Austin kind of made it more mainstream that period of time.
Then they released the Austin 316 shirt, and everything changed.
Yeah, and DX was telling everyone to suck it, and I can't tell you how many kids I know that got kicked out of school for yelling suck it. And the NWO, and those three things, I think, made wrestling cool and made wrestling mainstream, and they've been trying to get back there ever since, God knows. But yeah, it's a show, man. Sit back and relax. I saw this great picture on Facebook the other day. It was a little 5-year-old kid in a Sin Cara mask, and the tagline was, "Doesn't give a fuck who's getting pushed, doesn't give a fuck who's getting buried, has way more fun than you."
Yeah,
and that's absolutely true. Yeah,
I think Bob Evans posted that.
I think so. Yeah,
but. That's the other thing. Is when I was speaking of those days, the DX and the NWO and whatnot. When I was a senior in high school, there was one kid who was a class below me who every time I would walk past him in the hall would throw up the Wolfpack sign and want me to do it back, and I always refused because I was a staunch WWF guy at that point.
Are you sure he wasn't just offering you a handy
with the fingers up?
Hey, I don't know what that says about you, but
pinkies,
always,
and index up.
Yes.
But I always downright refused to give him back the Wolfpack sign because I did not watch WCW, and I was not going to interact with anyone who enjoyed WCW. I was such a fucking mark when I was like 16.
I hope you told him to suck it.
but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those perception things where if you don't like it, and you're one of those either like wrestling or you're dead set that you're not going to like wrestling and you're never going to like wrestling. And that's when those two forces combine, that's when you get these arguments that, oh, it's just hick bullshit. And they just demeaning. And yeah, but it's fiction.
Well,
and yeah, it gets shitty sometimes. And sometimes they do things that are awful. Like the whole Piggy James angle.
Yes.
And basically anything that Lay Cool ever did.
And sometimes James Storm shoves women onto a train track.
But we don't talk about TNA.
Right. Well, who does? But, to tie it back to what we were talking about earlier and briefly touched on, that's where shows like Total Divas have their place. That's a niche of the viewing audience that outside of that show would say, fuck wrestling, I'm not watching wrestling. Mm-hmm. But hey, I like trashy reality TV, and that's what this is. And my wife is a great example. She doesn't give two shits about wrestling, but
reality TV.
Right. She likes trashy reality TV. She loves watching Total Divas, and so that brought her into the product. And now she watches Raw with me and my son more regularly, and she, comments on it. And same thing with him. It was the Lucha fucking Dragons that got my 6-year-old into watching wrestling. And, so every one of those things that we all hate, they have a niche audience that they relate to, and that they bring to the rest of the
we're not that audience.
Exactly. That's why it's just not made for us.
And that's why we complain about it.
Exactly, because fuck that stuff.
I don't care what you like. This is for me.
Exactly. We want more Cena. I had the greatest Cena arguments to go against you with, but we'll do it another time.
Save that for another time. That does it for the rundown for this Wednesday, February 3rd, 216 AD. 215 days since Finn Balor won the NXT Championship, and 28 days till I go under the knife to get nonstop plastic surgery until I look like Heath Slater. Go to audibletrial.com/rundown for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial. Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Blizzard Brawl at the Elks Lodge in Clinton, Massachusetts on Saturday, February 27th. Atlanta Pro Wrestling returns also on February 27th with Wrestling for Reading 3. Now that you're the
won't leave till every wrestler can read.
now that you're the commissioner, I think you'll have something to do with that.
A little bit.
Yes. By the way, for those of you listening at home, that's how this happens. He's a wrestling person, except he's not. You're a talker like me. We're talkers. We're the tall people who don't actually fight.
The tall, the almost 7 foot tall white ring announcers. Yes.
That could be our tag team.
There you go.
Except we don't fight because I would get hurt badly.
I've been in a fight or two in my day.
I got knocked over by a ginger once. Nobody wants that to happen. I just give up at that point.
Yeah, then you got to quit.
And Liberty States returns on Saturday, March 5th at the John McCarthy Elementary School in Peabody, Mass. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. I live tweet Raw. Sometimes when I remember to watch SmackDown, I live tweet SmackDown. Sean, co-ghost Sean on the side says, "Who is this Rudy Poo?" Well, if you've been watching, you would have known that from the beginning. You gotta keep up. Just because you're a ghost doesn't mean you get to slack on actually watching the episodes. Send us an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com or be like Sal and Marty Jannetty and send us a voicemail at 206-202-6478. This is your part. That's 206-20.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be paying attention?
That's not what it spells. Go tell your parents.
Asshole poetry.
No, that comes later.
Okay.
Like us on Facebook. Tell your parents and your grandparents to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. If you want to make a donation of the monetary variety, go to rundown.podomatic.com and click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the screen. Watch archived episodes at youtube.com/rundownpodcast and circle us on Google Plus at google.com/+AdamRundownHost. Do you have anything to plug? Big stick.
Outside of my cute little unicorn icon down there, I would say probably the APW show. You mentioned that already.
Plugging the unicorn?
Yeah, why not? Magical creature, man. You know, I want to get one of those New Day horns and just do that next time. Absolutely. And also, Victory Championship Wrestling will be back in action soon. We're working on shoring up our next date. So stay tuned. Bell at facebook.com/BelltimeVCW for any information regarding that, where I'm a commissioner. I got a lot of power.
Sean says, you're in New Hampshire. You should be at the town hall debate. Do your civic duty, cock. And bring this. This is my civic duty, to bring this entertainment to the masses.
Yes, and I got to say, I missed the prediction poll because I wanted to know what Adam Stuxballs thought was going to happen at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, we'll probably bring that back for WrestleMania. Doing it for every pay-per-view, as fun as it was a giant pain in the ass. So
it was fun for me. It didn't require any work for me.
For my own sanity, we're taking a break on that this year. Yes. So feeling constipated? Clear yourself out at tinyurl.com/distant horizons. Chasing distant horizons. It's poetry for your asshole.
As endorsed by Marty.
Yes. Marty Jannetty. You got that going for you, Andy. Now Marty Jannetty enjoys your laxative poetry.
Shout out.
Not that you're going to listen to this because you aren't on it. So check out our sister podcast at shadowvane.net or support them at patreon.com/shadowvane. The Pen15 Club on Stitcher and iTunes. Episode 2 coming eventually. The two new podcasts. We've got Tuning Japanese right now on Facebook and Twitter. Their first episode is coming soon. And the Raw Attitude podcast featuring Cohost, some of Cohost Sean's friends. I believe the host of that program is going to be Henry Hugebex, the suplex throwing human duplex. So look for that in the near future. You can search for us on iTunes, another Rundown Wrestling podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave a 5-star review because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, we'll read your name and your review at the end of a future episode. Still no new text reviews, people.
And if you subscribe, you might end up hosting.
Yeah. We're also available on Stitcher, the Stitcher app, or Stitcher.com. Sean says, sadly for Andy, Bernie Sanders is going to be the Marty Jannetty of the Democratic primaries, except you wrote Mary Jannetty, which is something completely different.
It's all Trump anyway, right?
I don't know who Mary Jannetty is. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening every week. Thanks to Sean, Cohost Sean on the side at the very end there. Mary Jannetty, of course, is Marty's less talented wife. That's impressively bad, I think.
Yeah, and she'll be fighting Charlotte at the next pay-per-view.
Thanks to Jason for stepping in. Kind of last minute, but not really. We've been trying to figure this out for a while, and I'm glad you're here, and we can have you on more in the future.
Absolutely. I will clear my schedule as much as I can.
Once Troy gets his shit together. Just kidding. I miss you, buddy.
Coming next time. Nip Flash.
Ooh. And thanks. Mary Jannetty is the Jannetty of the Jannetty household. Sean's just going on a roll with that now. And thanks to I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song. Next week, who knows? All depends on what happens on Raw. And as always, Jacob
The
Goodnight.
Hershey Highway to WrestleMania.
The Hershey Highway to WrestleMania. There we go. Jacob, good night and good luck. Fa. Dom. Go fuck yourself. And I leave you with this thought. If Adam Rose is the Radical Mongoose, does that mean they're going to superimpose his face over Chris Benoit's whenever the ARF articles show up on the WWE Network? Mongoose. Bye, everybody. Stop. Hooray. You did it.
Yay. So I stop recording now?
Yes.
Okay. Done.
Not bad. We got to an hour 7, hour 8.
There you go. So now I save project, right? Is that what I do?
Yes. If you haven't downloaded, you might need to download the MP3 thing to be able to export it as an MP3, but that's a quick enough thing to do. So
So let's see.
if you haven't done that yet. I usually leave a little bit of blank space at the end and then go to effects and do noise reduction. Just to take out if there's any background noise, there isn't usually, but.
Where is that? Effects.
Yeah, select a segment of room noise where you're not talking, and then go to effect noise reduction. Click the button that says get noise profile, and then highlight the entire track by clicking the little box on the left to highlight the entire track, and then go to effect noise reduction again, and it'll reduce the noise. My ears are sweating.
Oh, geez. And export.
What brought that up?
They shared a thing on Debbie's wall about basically Disney wall art, like with quotes from Disney wall art, and the ends of this house we do Disney, and they're like obsessed with Disney. So I said, this is something you guys need, and so David commented, yes, Disney is the religion that we share, so I'm going to...
You put the milk in the fridge.
Yeah, well.
You take. Okay, this is the boring part, so I'm going to say bye-bye to Google. Bye-bye, Google.
Okay.
You're so close to your screen.